Hello everyone and welcome to our lesson for today. Today we will be introducing the first part of getting to know words.
Materials.
The only materials we need today for our lesson is our thinking cap. So we are ready. We have two learning targets for our lesson today. The first target says, I can follow along in a shared text or poem. And our second target says, I can identify the name and sound for the letters H and P.
Read aloud.
We are going to read a poem today. The name of my poem is called A Pink Parrot Took My Hat. I want you to notice the words while I read. So go ahead and follow along with me as I read our poem. I walked out of my house, ready for the day, when I saw a pink parrot flying my way. The bird swooped down and took my hat, then gave my head a little pat. I was so surprised, I just stopped and sat. Have you ever heard of anything quite like that? Did you hear any rhyming words in my poem? I heard some rhyming words. I heard day and way, hat and pat, sat and that. Nice rhyming. This is a picture of a parrot. The sound that we hear at the beginning of the word parrot is the p sound. Can you make that sound too? P. Try and make the p sound for parrot. Nice work. I wonder if we can think of some other words that also make the p sound like in parrot. Let's see if we can. I'm sure you thought of lots of words that begin with the letter P and make the p sound. I thought of a few words too myself. Here are some words I thought of that begin with the letter P and make the p sound. This is the picture of a house. The sound we hear at the beginning of the word house makes the h sound. Can you make that sound too? House. I wonder if we can think of some words that make the h sound just like in the word house. Let's see if we can. I'm sure you thought of lots of words that make the h sound just like in our word house. I thought of some too. My words are heart, hands, and hay. They all make the h sound at the beginning of the word, just like in house. Nice job. We are going to use the word parrot to help us remember the sound for the letter P. And we are going to use the word house to help us remember the sound for the letter H. We will call these words keywords because they'll help us to remember the keys to the sound. I want you to try something. Let's practice saying the sounds for these letters, and I want you to repeat them after me. Let's start with the letter P. P, p, parrot. H, h, house. Great, let's try that one more time. P, p, parrot. H, h, house. Awesome job. You did it.
Writing.
Did you know that every letter has an uppercase and a lowercase? We're going to try to practice skywriting our uppercase and lowercase letter P. I want you to watch as I practice first, and then I'll have you join along and follow after. Remember, when we skywrite, we use our finger just like a pencil. When we practice writing the uppercase P, we start at the top line, we pull our pencil down all the way to the bottom, and then we come back up and we make a bump around the top. That's how we practice writing our uppercase P. Now let's try it together. Get your fingers ready. Your finger is your pencil as we skywrite. Let's start at the top line. Let's pull our finger down to the bottom line, come back up, and make a bump, a circle at the top line. And we have our uppercase P. Now let's try to make our lowercase p. Our lowercase p is just the same, except this time we start at the belly line or the middle line. Let's get our fingers ready. Watch me first. Starting at the middle line, going down to the bottom line, coming back up, and making a little circle or a little bump right there to finish our lowercase p. Now let's practice together. Fingers up, starting at the belly line, going down, picking it back up, and going around. This time with the lowercase p, we go past the foot down, the foot line, all the way down to the tail line. Nice work with your lowercase p. Now let's try and practice skywriting our letter H, just like in the word house. We'll practice our uppercase H first. I want you to watch me again first, and then we'll try it together. I have my finger up. I start at my top line and drag it down to the bottom line. Pick my finger up, scoot it over a little bit, come back over to the top line, drag it down again to the bottom line, and cross it right there in the middle. Now let's try it together. Get your fingers up, start at the top line, drag it down to the bottom line, pick it up, scoot it over a little bit, back at the top line, drag it down to the bottom line, and cross right there in the middle. Great job! We just made the uppercase H. Now let's try to make our lowercase h. Watch me as I first do it, and then you'll do it along after. I take my finger again, I go up to the top line, I drag it down to the bottom line, I pick my finger up, I go to the middle and I make a little hump and go back down. Now let's try it together. Are you ready? I want you to get your finger up, and we're going to start at the top line and drag our finger down to the bottom line, come back up to the middle, make a little hump, and go back down. Awesome job! You just did your lowercase h. Nice work skywriting with me.
Closing reflection.
Now it's time to reflect on our lesson for today. I have 2 questions that I want you to think about. My first question says, when we see the letters H and P, how can we remember the sounds they make? And my second question that I want you to think about is, how will that help us with reading or writing? Today, we've met the letters H and P. In the next lesson, we'll get to know them even better and learn how to write them. Thank you for learning all about the letters H and P with me today. I hope you had a great time learning about these letters, and I will see you next time. Bye.